Hey everybody, God bless you. Why is it that the good news, the gospel, is different for those out of church than for those in the church? And let me explain to you. When you witness to somebody or you're sharing Christ with someone, when you come into someone who has trouble, who is wondering about the Christian faith, and they might say something like, well, you know what? I want to come to God, but I'm doing XYZ. I'm living this XYZ life. Let's just take smoking, for example. For some reason, people put smoking as one of these grave sins. So let's use smoking or drinking. I want to come to Christ, man, but I'm smoking. I'm a smoker. I don't want to quit smoking. It's okay. Come to Christ as you are. This is what we tell them. Come to Christ as you are. It's okay. God still loves you that way. Oh, I like to drink and get drunk. Come to Christ as you are. You will never hear someone say, well, you need to sober up first. Then you can come to my church. You don't hear that. And that's the message we give to a person who doesn't understand the Christian faith or is having an interest in the Christian faith, but they're having doubts. Come to Christ as you are. Come as you are. Right? And we say, you know what? Put your burdens upon him. He'll take it from you. It might take a day. It might take a year. He's going to take it from you. We tell this to people who are not in the church. And that's good news. That's true. But now it becomes different once you're in the church. You know, it becomes different. So let's say, for example, I'm in the church. And now I've been going to church for 2-3 years. And I decide to smoke. Oh, brother, you can't smoke. You're a Christian. Instead of saying, it's all right if you smoke. That's who you are. You came to Christ as you are. You're a smoker. Oh, brother, you need to quit that. If not, you're not going to get the blessing. Oh, you told me to come to Christ as I am. Now I'm smoking again. And now it's not good enough. Oh, brother, that's a hindrance. That's a hindrance. You're in sin. Well, first you tell me to come to Christ as I am. So I came. I might have quit smoking. Now I'm smoking again. Or drinking or whatever, XYZ, whatever is your burden. And now you're telling me I'm in sin. I thought what Christ did was enough. I thought I came to Christ as I am. You see, it's almost like what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. For those in the church community, in churchianity, the gospel is not enough. Now you have to perform. And you have to perform good, of course. And that's just wrong. Because the same Jesus that says, come to me, lay your burdens upon me. When he says that to a doubter or to a non-believer, that's the same Jesus that says it to a person who's been in the church 1 year or 20 years. After 20 years, many people in the church community is just going through a routine. And then they're living this life, which is just almost walking blindly into this routine of go to church, come home, go to church, come home. And they don't get to live the full relationship with Christ. It's almost like they don't even want to come near that. Because what was good for them 20 years ago is just not good enough now. It's the same gospel. It is the same Jesus. When he says, lay it upon me. Lay your burdens upon me. I will give you rest. He says that to an unbeliever and he says that to a believer. Because there are many people in the church community, and let me tell you something. If someone who is not a believer sees the way you're living and sees the burden you're suffering in here, all right, in the heart, the burden that you don't show physically, they see that, they're going to say, I don't want to know about this Jesus. How are you telling me to come to him, but you're living like that? You're all stressed out. You're all anxious. You're all pissed off. You're all, in your heart, you just have no love. And you're telling me to come to him? No, but many people do a good job of dressing it up. We'll dress up a certain way act a certain way, and then we start speaking, it's kind of like Christianese, You start speaking the church language and you'll fit in, and before you know it, you're fitting right in, and you look like you're doing good. But you forget that the same Jesus who took away your burdens back then will take away your burdens now. And you're just forgetting that. You hear it so much, it becomes, routine. If you're living this life in our Christian community and it's a burden to you, you need to just go back to the foundational truth that Christ said, lay it upon me. Come to him as you are. You don't need to be perfect. This is what we tell the people who don't know of Christ, right? If you want to use the word the world, this is what we tell the world. But yet inside the church community, we're popping pills because we're so depressed. Come on. Come to Christ. The same Christ. The same Christ for an unbeliever is the same Christ for a believer. No different. A Christ who loves you, who's just open there waiting for you to come to him. You don't need to bring your works. Say, Lord, I've been so good. I've done this. I've done that. Who cares what you've done? Who cares? Just come to him like a child would. Innocent. Because you have already been forgiven. So that burden that you're bearing is not even necessary. God bless you. And don't ever forget that what Jesus Christ did is enough.